My name is Amy McKinnon. I'm a national security reporter at Foreign Policy magazine based in Washington, D.C. I did my undergraduate at the University of Glasgow in politics and Russian, and I did a master's in Russian, Central and East European studies. I chose to study at the University of Glasgow for two main reasons. One was that I knew I wanted to study Russian, and at the time there were only 3 universities in Scotland that offered Russian. The other main reason was the city itself. I went down for the open day and I just fell in love with Glasgow and with the university itself, with the campus, which is just so stunning, just so enchanted that it was a very easy decision to make from there. My course was 5 years because I did a language, and when you study a language, you do a year abroad. And so I studied in a small city in Russia called Tver for a year in my 3rd year of university, which I always recommend to any prospective students if you have the chance to do a language, to go abroad. It was just life-changing for me. It's still to this day always something that stands out on my resume. Russian is a less common language for people in the UK to study, and it always starts conversations. And then just the experience of studying abroad itself. I mean, the friends that I went with from Glasgow are still some of my closest friends. You know, at 19 years old, going to a small city in Russia to study is pretty character building. It was a lot of experiences I'd never had before. It was fantastic, it was challenging, and I just grew in so many ways. It was truly one of the kind of most memorable years of my life. I mean, my career path really began when I was at Glasgow. I knew I wanted to go into journalism, but you know, coming from a small town in the Highlands, it seemed like a really inaccessible career path. I didn't know where to start, but it seemed like a smart place to begin would be with the student newspaper. So my last year at Glasgow, I started writing for the Glasgow Guardian, which is Glasgow's long-standing student paper. While I was there, I received an award from Amnesty International for one of the pieces I did about a Glasgow student who was an asylum seeker and who was forcibly deported back to Nigeria, where he came from. And that was really the beginning. You know, it's a cliche that people say, but I wouldn't be where I am today without that start at Glasgow. I'm a national security reporter with Foreign Policy magazine. I cover US foreign policy, US national security, and with a particular focus on Russia and Eastern Europe, both what's going on in the region and also its American foreign policy and national security policy, and as it intersects with that part of the world, which obviously, given Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February, it has been an incredibly eventful time covering these areas. I mean, in terms of memorable moments, I feel like I moved to Washington 4 years ago, almost exactly to the date, and it's been an intense 4 years, both in this city, but also for the world. And it's been an enormous privilege and at times a terrifying responsibility to have a front row seat to the latter years of the Trump administration, to 2 impeachments, to the insurrection on January 6th, to covering the global pandemic as that was unfolding and the particularly terrible toll that has taken in the United States, now to reporting from Ukraine in February and to covering both the build-up and then the execution of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. It's a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but definitely an unforgettable 4 years, and I have Glasgow to thank for putting me on the path which enabled me to be here today. I would heartily recommend Glasgow as a place to study, both for fellow students like me from Scotland or for people coming from the rest of the UK or around the world. It's such an exciting place to be. There's just always so much going on, so much to get involved in. I love Glasgow. I really hope to be able to move back there one day. I met friends for life. Some of my best friends are my friends from university, and it's just a wonderful, kind of vibrant, exciting place to be, and I wish I could go back and do it all again.